So the title says this is the second best time to download and try Age of Empires Mobile, and the reason for that is obviously the upcoming Christmas events. I know everyone loves holidays, but we love them even more because for us, they mean incredible limited time events and rich rewards. Since I believe with the upcoming events there will be a lot of new players trying Age of Empires Mobile, I want to go over two things. Number one is the best starting civilization, and number two, the best unit type that you can focus when you're starting Age of Empires Mobile. Without further ado, let's go!
Spartan! What is your profession?
Alright, as you can see, I just logged into a brand new account, and now we're gonna advance to Feudal Age, and I'm gonna show you, we are gonna talk about the possible civilizations that you can choose. And there we go, the civilization selecting screen. Now, I know that Age of Empires Mobile is a PvP city building war game. However, the majority of the early game, this is a new account, remember, the majority of the early game is all about development. Without developing properly, you won't be able to fight against other players. And because of that, when you are choosing your starting civilization, you will think which one gives me the best chances to develop faster and better. And for that, we can take a look at the possible bonus. And I just realized that I am actually blocking them. Alright, much better. Now the first bonus that you see here is always going to be a PvP bonus. It's going to be a bonus for a specific unit type. Since it's not related to development, we don't really care about it. So what we need to compare is the second and the third row. And if we take a look at all the available civilizations, yes, they all give different buffs and some of them are really good. However, none of them is, in my opinion, is as good as Chinese. It gives archer defense, villager capacity, and walls durability. Now I'm gonna be honest, walls durability is pretty useless. And archer defense, if you're going to main archers, we will now talk about which troop type, which unit type that I believe that you should focus as a new player. But if you're not going to main archers, that is going to be useless as well. Maybe very later down the line, you will build an archer army eventually, but for the early game, it's going to be kind of useless. The most important thing here is the villager capacity. A lot of things that you do in Age of Empires Mobile regarding development, whether you are building or gathering resources in your city, collecting resources in your city, all of these are kind of tied to your villages, because the more villagers that you have, the more you can assign, and obviously it's going to boost your development stage. And because of that, I believe China, with the +8 villager capacity, is the best starting civilization that you can choose. However, later down on the line, when you are entering the PvP stage of the game, of course we are going to choose a civilization that boosts our unit type, our main unit type, the best. And also, if the second and third bonus of that civilization is better, we are going to go with that one. Now, which unit type that I believe you should focus on in the early game as a beginner? The answer is Swordsman. We will of course discuss it in details just in a moment, but first let's go over the Swordsman civilizations. Number one, Byzantium. It gives 5% Swordsman defense, all unit types siege damage 5%, and stone gathering speed in the world is extra 5%. And the second Swordsman civilization is going to be Japanese. This time we have 5% Swordsman defense, attack bonus against players' citadels 5%. If you are not attacking citadels, pretty useless. Attack against tribes in the world extra 10%. In my opinion, attack against tribes in the world is more important than the gathering speed in the early to mid game, but in the mid to late game, if all you do is attacking and fighting with other players, this means you will be healing a lot of troops. In that case, you will of course need a bunch of resources, so gathering speed will be more ideal. But when your account is somewhere in between the development and the fighting stage, I would say Japan makes more sense compared to Byzantium. But because of the villager capacity, our starting civilization is going to be China, and now I'm gonna go over why I think Swordsman is for beginners, for players just downloading Age of Empires Mobile, why Swordsman is the best option. Now first let's talk about what is maining a certain unit type. If we take a look at the available units in Age of Empires Mobile, it's Swordsman, Pikemen, Cavalry, and Archers. And each unit counters a different one. You can see right here, this is the unit counter wheel. It basically says Swordsman counters Pikemen, Pikemen Cavalry, Cavalry Archers, so on and so forth. Now this is of course important when deciding which troop type that you want to main, because ideally you want to main the unit type that counters the majority of people, and you want to get countered by the unit type that's used the least. However, there is one thing that's way more important, and it is heroes. When I say maining a certain unit type, we are actually talking about focusing on heroes that are good at leading that specific unit type. Now, if we take a look at the hero list that we have in Age of Empires Mobile, you'll see that each hero is either good at leading one or two different unit types. For example, Josephine is good at leading archers and swordsmen. However, Joan of Arc is only good at leading pikemen. How do we know it? It is these little icons right here, and if I close the screen, go here, as you can see, it is way more visible, and it says specialty pikemen. Now let's filter our heroes and let's say swordsmen. So if I keep focusing on these heroes, that means my main unit type is swordsman, because all my heroes that are max or invested are good at leading swordsmen. Now, why do I believe regarding heroes this is swordsman is the best unit type that you can focus as a new player in Age of Empires Mobile? Is because number one, we have Josephine available. You literally start the game with her. There are two more completely free heroes that I think is really good for swordsman. One of them is King Derek and the other one is Hammurabi. Especially King Derek because you can get extra medal, like bunch of extra medals for King Derek in an event called Giant's Roar, so please pay attention to the event if you are focusing on a swordsman. Basically, you can max him super fast and it's going to be completely free. Same goes for Hammurabi, as I said, a free hero that you can make a really good styling pair without spending a dime. However, there is a hero that we need to talk about, which is Miyamoto. This guy I think is superb, like he's amazing and he pairs so well in the early game with King Derek and Hammurabi. Later on you will still be using Miyamoto, but we will change the other two heroes. The thing about Miyamoto is that he is available in VIP. However, there is something really good in Age of Empires Mobile. In similar games, unfortunately, we don't have it. When it comes to VIP heroes, as you can see, if I reach VIP 3 and purchase this chest with money, it will give me some Miyamoto tokens. Let's take a look at VIP 2. Again, the same thing. If I purchase this chest, this time I will get 20 medals. The beautiful thing in Age of Empires Mobile is that in similar games, you have to purchase these, like all these chests to max that specific hero. However, in this game, all you need to do is to just summon that hero, and after that, you will just spend your medals that you earn from completely free-to-play ways. And summoning Miyamoto costs less than a cup of coffee, it's just $1, and it will transform your swordsman army. So I think Miyamoto is such an amazing purchase. Because of those reasons, for early game, yes, swordsman is, in my opinion, amazing. The beauty about swordsman is that when you are in the late game, it's even better. Because then what you can do is, you can go Miyamoto, Tribuana, and Yorit. That march is extremely powerful, so you are gonna have an amazing early game combination, and also you can work towards an amazing late game combination. And on top of that, pikeman is a very popular unit type, and remember the counter unit wheel, you do counter swordsman, do counter pikeman, and they get countered by archers. And let me tell you this, there are not a lot of archer players, even though I think Huo Mulan is a fantastic hero. Unfortunately, archers do have a bad reputation in city building war games. Now, with these two important topics out of the way, let's take a look at beautiful Snow Festival city skin or Citadel theme that you can obtain during the Christmas events. And since Age of Empires Mobile is a brand new game, there are not a lot of themes available. And even though the visual is super nice, what we really care about is the troop buff. And as you can see, it gives all unit types attack 1.5%. This means this is an extremely versatile city theme that everybody could use. And because of that, I repeat, this is, in my opinion, the second best time that you can download and try Age of Empires Mobile. You can use the QR code if you want, or you can just go ahead and click the link in the description or pinned comment. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.